Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today, I wanted to get on and talk about relationship burnout and unconditional love. And what does that even mean? So, this is just my personal take on it, and you can share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear back from you. Do you think unconditional love is achievable? And is it only achievable in certain situations? And is it achievable for yourself? So here's the thing with unconditional love. I do believe that we can love other people unconditionally while still not being in relationship with them or setting boundaries or removing ourselves from being in contact with them. So what do I mean by that? If it's a case of abuse, neglect, if it's a case of the other person being in a head space of not being able to be in a healthy relationship with others at the moment, we can love that person unconditionally in that we can accept them for who they truly are in this moment, while still recognizing that for our own safety and our own energy protection and just for our own mental health, we might not be able to actually be in contact with that person. So we can love them from afar and we can love them unconditionally from afar, but still know that we need to have those boundaries in place. And then what does it look like if we're in relationship with someone and we're practicing unconditional love? Well, it means accepting all the parts of who they are as being real for them in this moment, while still recognizing that people can grow and change and evolve. And obviously we want that for, people in our lives to continue to grow and change and evolve and just become better versions of themselves. But we can still love them for who they are in this moment, accepting that maybe they have some limitations. Maybe there's something that's holding them back from achieving that level of growth and healing that they need to have in order to be more engaged or connected. So how do we support someone and love them unconditionally while still recognizing that there might be that need for growth and change and evolution? I think it really begins with ourselves and being able to practice that unconditional self-love, because from there, it gives us more capacity to practice compassion for not just ourselves, but for the people that we're in relationship with. And so you'll hear me say this a lot, that self-love is crucial to healthy relationships. And it's because once we're in that place of unconditional self-love, we can then be there for someone else's journey while still protecting ourselves. So when we're practicing self-love, we're much more capable of setting up boundaries that protect ourselves. And we're much more able to ask for what we need and want from other people. And so it's different. Unconditional love is different when we're talking about other people versus ourselves. So like I mentioned, you can be practicing unconditional love with someone while still creating some space and distance. Whereas with ourselves, it's really challenging to practice unconditional love and distance. It's almost impossible. So the way that we can practice unconditional love for ourselves is to be okay with whatever feelings are coming up for us, whatever emotions that are, making themselves known, and also being okay with what's going on inside us physically. And just acceptance is different than, throwing in the towel. It's not the same thing, right? So we can be loving ourselves unconditionally. We can accept the things that we would like to change and heal from. And at the same time, that's different from just, avoiding it all, or accepting it but not really doing anything to change it. For a while we might stay in that place. We might just stay in that place of radical acceptance before change actually happens. So wherever you're at in the journey, because it is a journey, it's not going to happen overnight, but wherever you're at in your journey, whether you're just now, becoming more aware and more intentional, and maybe that's the start of your journey towards self-love, but that's self-love in itself. So, it's not an end goal. It's not like when I reach self-love and unconditional love for myself that it's going to look like a certain thing, because it's going to look different for every single person. And the journey is different. And there's not necessarily this, tangible goal. It's a process. It's something that we're constantly working towards. And it's, it's an achievable goal, but we won't necessarily know when we're going to get there and what it's going to look like. But every step along the way is a practice of self-love, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So I'd love to hear from you about your journey towards unconditional love and acceptance, not just for yourself, but maybe for those around you. And for me personally, I've come to a place where I have been, working really diligently on practicing that self-love for myself and healing those parts of me that were holding me back from achieving that level of self-love. And from there, it sort of extended out to my family and, and being able to, especially with my kids, talk about unconditional love and radical acceptance. I mean, getting to that place with my adult children has been a journey, right? Of just, putting aside my expectations, putting aside the dreams and things that I had in my own head around their growth and their future, has been completely freeing for me, because it allows me to just really enjoy who they are without me piling on a bunch of my expectations of how things should go or, could be or whatever. I'm just really able to be present for them in these moments in their life. And that's helped to build a deeper connection. And then, of course, within my marriage, I mean, we've been together for 30 years. And, along the way, there's been some compromise. And, there's been a lot of unconditional love. But also, I recognize at times in my life that my love was conditional. And so I had to really do the work around that, right? So that I can accept my partner for who they are, and they accept me for who I am, right? And we're growing and evolving and changing together and separately. And then just really being able to appreciate that evolution together and to grow together from there. So I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And I'd love to hear your comments in the comments section if you have anything you'd like to share. And so I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for joining me.